L'inglese è la mia lingua madre, in modo da scusilo se dico male qualcosa. Posso mangiare un cappuccino e per pranzo un sommergibile del pollo di caprese ed anche un'insalata del casa con la preparazione italiana. E sta andando a avere lo stesso. Grazie.
The waiter walks away. Oh my goodness, I didn't know you could speak Italian. I am truly amazed. No, it's a bit rough. Sure the waiter had a little problem understanding me. Well, I still say it was amazing. So where did you learn Italian? High school and college. I still take refresher classes. It's really nice to be here because it's helping me to remember everything and to sharpen my Italian skills. You're wonderful. Well, we'll see how good I am by what the waiter brings us. If he brings what I order, then I guess I'm not bad after all. Well, what did you order? I ordered a cappuccino, a chicken sub, and also the house salad. I hope you like it too because I ordered the same thing. Yeah, that sounds fine. The waiter arrives with the cappuccinos. I guess your Italian is not as bad as you think. I guess not. Stephen, I want to apologize to you. I wasn't all that friendly to you when you first joined. No need to apologize. I completely understand, me being the new guy and all. To be honest, it wasn't that. It was the surprise. We didn't even know you were joining until we saw you in the studio. Lex didn't even have the heart to discuss it with us. But why would he? To him, we're just property. The waiter comes with the salad. They both thank him. Edward continues. You know, one day backstage, he told us that he owned us. I felt like a slave. Yeah, he can be very controlling sometimes. So what happened with Sean? Why did he get kicked out? Why did he get kicked out? Sean was a free spirit. He didn't like to be bossed around. We always had to stay in our hotel rooms, and he never did. He would leave and go places. Sometimes he wouldn't take the limo back to the hotel, and Lex didn't like it. He even showed up late to a couple of the performances. I guess Lex got sick of him. I just wish he would have told us first. Well, enough about Sean. So how did it all happen? How did you get picked to be Sean's replacement? My agent called me. He told me about the audition. There were only 5 of us there. You have an agent? Yeah, I got one while I was in New York looking for a theater job. You do theater too? Oh, I love theater. Well, I used to. I don't have much time for it anymore. Yeah, I was in a couple of regional plays and I was in the ensemble of 3 Broadway plays. You're kidding. Oh, I tried everything to be on Broadway. Well, except get an agent. Maybe I should have tried that. I went from audition to audition and nothing. I got so frustrated that I quit. I moved back to Connecticut and I worked for a graphic designs company. I did community theater on the side. Stephen asks, you're into graphic design? Yeah, it was my second major in college. Get out. It was my major in college. What was your first major? Edward replies, theater. Did you major in theater? No, I minored in it. That's cool. Stephen asks, so how did you become part of 4SCORE? I auditioned. I wasn't going to, but a friend of mine. At that moment, I stopped to think about Derek. I hadn't contacted him at all. In fact, I momentarily forgot about him. Stephen responds, Eddie, what? What happened? You stopped talking. Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about Derek. He was a great friend. He told me about the audition for the band. He even pushed me to go. I wasn't going to go because at that point I was frustrated with auditions. What happened? You're not friends anymore? I don't know. We became estranged. Lex wouldn't allow me to make phone calls, and I haven't had the time to write them. We drifted apart. During our breaks, I would visit him, but it felt like he didn't want me around. I miss him. Sorry to hear that. Don't be. Well, anyway, I went to all the auditions and made it. There were 5 auditions all together in a 2-day time period. It went from over 1,000 men to just 4. I was amazed that I made it. Wow, 1,000? Yep. He looks at the waiter. If these are the chicken subs coming, then your Italian is not at all bad. The waiter approaches the table. 2 caprese chicken subs. Enjoy. Edward says, grazie, signor. Edward laughs at Stephen. Did you know he spoke English? No, I feel kind of stupid. Don't feel stupid. You're in Italy. There's nothing wrong with speaking Italian. Edward continues to laugh. Stephen says, you know, I was very happy to get this job, but I want to go back to theater. I'm not even sure how I feel about theater anymore. Being around Lex has made me numb. What do you think Lex would say if I asked him? Asked him what? If I could do a show or two? I don't know. It would have to fit into the schedule, you know? Yeah, I guess so. I just really like theater. I don't think I could stay away from it too long. Well, the only way you'll know what Lex will say is to ask him. Maybe he'll surprise you and say yes. Hey, you never know. Yeah, maybe you're right. That same day, Stephen asked Lex. Lex told him not now, that it wasn't the right time. I didn't tell Stephen, but in Lex language, that meant no. After lunch, we walked somewhere and returned back to the hotel. We only had an hour to get ready because the limo was coming to get us. Chris was nowhere to be found. We got into the limo without him. I hope you don't have to go through the same thing with Chris, says Orlando. No, I'm sure he has a valid reason for being late, says Edward. Orlando continues sarcastically. What, he got lost? We got to the center where the concert was, and as always, Lex was waiting for us. Where's Chris? Orlando answers, we don't know. You know, maybe if you spent more time with us instead of always going off to some producer's meeting, you would know where we were. Watch your mouth. Go inside and get ready. Chris showed up 30 minutes late, and there was something wrong with him. Chris, you're late, says Lex. Don't you think I know that? What happened? I was at the hotel at 6:15. I waited and waited, and the limo never came. I had to catch a cab. That's because I told you to be there at 6. You lying fool. You told me 6:30. You said, Chris, make sure by 6:30 you're ready because the limo will be ready to pick you up. Chris, you must be hallucinating. I specifically said 6 o'clock. It's always 6 o'clock. I know, that's why I was confused when you said 6:30. I never said 6:30. You did so. You're doing this because you don't like me. You're trying to ruin me, aren't you? Chris, what's wrong with you? Asked Orlando. Shut up, Edward. Edward says, I didn't say anything. You did too. You just said there was something wrong with me. I did not, Orlando adds. He did not. I did. And I didn't say there was something wrong. I asked if there was. Shut up. Everyone just shut up. You're all after me, aren't you? Lex, he can't go out there like this, says Edward. What's wrong with him? Asked Stephen. There's nothing wrong with me and I'm going out there. Lex is just trying to ruin me. I know he is. Chris went on stage with us for the first act, but wasn't feeling well and had to sit out for the second act. I wasn't sure what was wrong with him, but I knew there was something wrong. He traveled for a little longer before returning to New York to record. We traveled for a little longer before returning to New York to record the next album. After spending some time in New York and at Derek's, which was weird, we left for another Asian tour. We were there for some time when we ran into Sean. He was on tour as well. He had a hit single out, Love Me Baby. I think Lex was upset that Sean was able to become a successful solo artist. I was happy for him. I barely got to speak with him thanks to Lex. One thing that stands out the most about this tour was the concert in Singapore. Chris showed up 15 minutes late, which really upset Lex. We started the concert on time, though, and everything started okay. During the second act, I was watching Chris, and I realized that there was something wrong with him. I looked around to see if anyone else noticed, but I don't think anyone did. It wasn't very long after when Chris passed out on stage. We had to stop the concert and rushed him to the hospital. The next day, Lex sent him back to New York, where he stayed in the hospital. Lex canceled the rest of the tour, and we went back home. Lex wouldn't allow us to visit Chris. All I know is when Lex called us back for rehearsals for a performance we would be doing on a television show, Chris wasn't there. I knew in my heart that Chris was out of the group, but I was in denial. I kept saying, Chris will be there. Chris will be here. About 10 minutes after I got to the rehearsal hall, Ronald was there with another boy. That's when I knew for sure that Chris was gone.